and nobody actually cares about security stuff and making things reliable, confident, solid while they're prototyping. It's your obligation to start thinking about the security of your user data, your own data.
How did you come up with the idea of VibeOps?
What happened with AI is like every time it suggested some new deployment strategy. A lot of work goes behind in debugging this, de-risking these things, refactoring it to their current code base, and then passing it on. Right? This time to go live, this time to make this decision, we are reducing it to like maybe hours.
Like scan for any security issues in my app or for any security exposures. Is my app secure? If I ask these basic questions to Cursor, maybe कुछ solution मिल जाएगा मुझे.
These things are very probabilistic. Again, these are token guesser, right? Like
I'll be really amazed if with just one damn click I can get this readiness score from F to something better.
Yeah.
This will be freaking amazing, man.
We become the most contextual person for solving this particular issue.
Do you think it's too late to build something with AI right now? What's up, overthinkers? Welcome to Overthinking Out Loud. In this episode, joining me today is a very good friend of mine, Kislay Raj. Already built 3 companies at the age of 25, a serial entrepreneur, and currently building VibeOps, which is next level DevOps with a bit of vibe. Most small businesses or startups or even MNCs with dedicated product managers and dev teams end up with tons of security issues before and after they go live. And this is a huge problem. Spinning up a prototype is easy, but what happens next? What happens when you try to scale? What happens when you try thinking big? What happens when you start getting huge traffic on your website? And one fine day, some hackers come in and steal all your user data because you had some leaked API keys. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. In this conversation, I learned so much about the hows and whats and whys of vibe coding and all the risks associated with it. Sit tight, grab a pen and paper. It's gonna be legendary. So Kislay, we know about VibeOps. Okay. How did you come up with the idea of VibeOps?
Yeah, essentially this idea was seeded at my company hackathon, where we participated as a team, and where the entire goal was to win the hackathon. We were surely optimizing for that, and the bet we took was essentially like what should be the next leg of vibe coding, and the very obvious answer to this was like maybe productionizing stuff, where folks have built something using vibe code, could be any tool, right? Like, but there's a purpose behind building those things. Could be a side project, could be for self-utility, could be for revenue, could be a side hustle, a main business, could be anything, right? Like, so the idea was these folks will eventually try to get to production, and given the background of majority of these folks, right, if you see the ratio, there are 600 to 1. For every tech guy, there are 600 non-tech guys in the world. So this ratio was humongous. So like the problem is clear out there. With this era of vibe coding, right? There are more and more folks building stuff, but they will need to fulfill their purpose, like getting to production and essentially gaining user trust, so that like user can actually use their apps tools in order to make their life easier or like to serve the purpose, right? So essentially for that, the very next step becomes productionization of these things, making it secure, making it reliable, so that they can like keep on building new features, keep on getting new users, instead of worrying about I don't know anything about the underlying code. How secure is this? How reliable is this? Can I confidently go out there and raise money basis this code base? Basis, can a user trust me with this particular app, which underlying code I don't know, I have not written it, I don't understand. I'm not a non-technical guy. So making this transition from prototype to production, after you go live, it's only start of a journey. Like you'll start keeping on building new features. You'll start getting new users. You'll have peculiar issues coming from each and every user. You will now need to understand what's going inside your code. You'll need to understand like what kind of log you're getting, how helpful that log actually is to you, or what are you actually copy pasting in GPT. Again, the GPT is suggesting you some solution basis that half context. This was the core problem statement, and this is what like we thought would solve for, and yeah, it worked out in our favor. We won the hackathon, and now we are building it, and yeah, we're seeing good demand for especially non-tech folks.
Right, got it. So who would be the ideal audience for VibeOps? What do you think? Like only particularly like Vibe coders only, or is there any other vertical that you are targeting?
Yeah, I think vibe coders per se, like we have defined an internal term for it, like it's called pro vibe coders. Essentially, whenever you get serious, whenever you're going to raise money, you are aiming to get real users. Like do as much prototyping before that, like however you like it, and nobody actually cares about security stuff and making things reliable, confident, solid while they're prototyping. But as soon as you start thinking about getting real users, like you start marketing, you start putting money and time around it. You must, it's your obligation to start thinking about the security of your user data, your own data, right? So that is where we are coming in. So the persona, like what we started with, was non-tech folks. Then we added a asterisk over it with some accountability. Essentially, when you're done prototyping, that is where you will need us, and that is where we become like a must-have instead of just having a good-to-have thing. Right? So so there are two segments here, right, where we see this persona fitting of non-tech plus with some accountability, responsibility. Essentially, solo founders for building something serious. Like we are seeing ton of small teams, solo founder building $1 billion, $1 billion businesses, and we are betting huge that this number will grow on as in coming years.
Right, got it.
Yeah. So and the other persona in like more on the business side of it is product managers. So like in my opinion, they would be the best person to build out something from scratch. In that they are the most contextual, they are the person with most context for a product, for a feature. Until now, there was a lot of back and forth within teams. Now I think it's time like the job responsibility will change, and we'll see it evolving very soon. So yeah, catering to these two non-tech folks with good responsibility and accountability is our aim for now.
Got it. Perfect. So let's assume that I am product manager at XYZ company, right? How will I implement VibeOps in my workflow on a day-to-day basis?
Cool. Yeah, I think that's a good question. Here, what they can do is like they can continue using, like I'm sure like a ton of companies have adopted vibe coding as their internal practices for in different workflows. For tests, it's more serious, and companies trust them to have the right powers. That's why Cursor became really famous. And a product manager vibe codes something. The prototype could be fully functional, right? Even after this point, he hands it off to the development team. Now at this point, again, the development teams tries to understand the use case, then try to understand the current code base, and then try to make a decision that like, should I put this as a standalone repo? Should I merge this functionality into existing repo? Do I need to set up a new CI/CD pipeline? Do I need to spin up some new resources for this? What kind of security needs to be implemented in this one? He needs to take a lot of decisions, and then a lot of work goes behind in debugging this, de-risking these things, refactoring it to their current code base, and then passing it on. Right? This just defies the purpose of what this vibe coding has shown, this speed of execution, right? Like if it is ultimately slowing you down at the end for you to go live, it just defies the purpose.
Right, fair.
This is exactly in businesses what we are aiming to solve for. This time to go live, this time to make this decision, we are reducing it to like maybe hours. Right? So essentially, with VibeOps, after a product manager has done vibe coding, they just attaches their repo. We refactor them to their best engineering practices, install all the right engineering practices that we have learned from their repo, de-risk them, debug them, and once it has passed all the checks, if there needs to be approval from like one of these like maybe like head of tech or team heads, right? It just goes to as a notification to them that like, hey, this person is trying to deploy this particular thing. These are the security checks that it has passed. These are the checks that we have implemented in this. This is how the code looks like.
Right.
Now, the developer's decision making has gone so much easier in this particular case that he does not need to understand the different new structure of the code. He does not need to ensure that like, are these checks particularly passing or failing, implemented or not. Now he just need to say, okay, these things are passed, these things are already implemented. The code is already in his mental models well-structured format. He just need to approve or deny that thing. That is the like, so yeah, like here the decision making thing, and as soon as he approves, right, like the deployment goes through. So as soon as the product manager has done vibe coding, I think within, if everybody is sitting together, I think it should be live within half an hour.
That's beautiful.
It's secure and reliable.
Right, got it. So how is VibeOps different than, let's say I'm vibe coding in Cursor or Lovable, right? And I just simply ask Cursor, like scan for any security issues in my app or for any security exposures, is my app secure? If I ask these basic questions to Cursor, maybe कुछ solution मिल जाएगा मुझे. And what do you think about it? कि is that the way to go about it? Or how does VibeOps, fill those gaps? कि नहीं यार, ये बहुत generic answer है, ऐसे नहीं हो पाएगा. How to, what's your take on this?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So yeah, a lot of folks, we do get pushed back like, hey, I'm using Replit, or hey, I'm using X coding agent. Yeah, like we take off right after these folks, these tools are done their job, right?
Okay.
So yeah, we definitely are coming in line of that particular workflow. Where these tools maybe fail and what gap we are covering is, it's not as easy as, hey, remove every security risk from this code, make no mistake. You can prompt like that, like I mean, like that's Cursor or any other tool. Just will add logging to maybe 4 or 5 files, but will miss adding logging to some functions. Which it thought is not necessary or relevant. Which again, you can go on prompting like, hey, don't add logging to these particular functions, add logging to these particular files. Then you will say, okay, sure, like I'll add it, and then your task is done, and then you have to verify all these things are done. Why these things happen is because these things are very probabilistic. Like, again, these are token guesser, right? Like all these models are token guesser.
Correct.
Runs on probability.
Right.
But when it comes for your production environment, when it comes to security, you cannot just rely on vibes, right? Like you got to have some determinism inside your workflow so that you can say for sure that I can rely on this app is secure because it has passed these certain checklists. Again, like it all depends how good and how detailed your prompts are. But again, when you are actually vibe coding or you're trying to push something really fast, these are the things that people often miss. These are the things which are not always on top of someone's head, and that is why you need to have a deterministic workflow for this, the right engineering practices, and that is what VibeOps is bringing.
Okay, got it. You don't have to go totally deep into this, but my overall question will be, is there a set of rules which VibeOps follows and जिसको हम लोग industry standard मान रहे हैं, right? And does VibeOps follow those procedures and then it gives us a result? या फिर are you guys like asking AI only in a proper deterministic format कि these are the 5 checklists, ऐसे मैंने AI से पूछ दिया कि is it done, or is there any industry standard guidelines that you guys follow?
Yeah, again, great question. Yeah, the very natural and obvious thing that anybody would have thought that like maybe just give the entire power to AI and let it drive the entire thing. And like that's a very obvious thought process. What happened with AI is like every time it suggested some new deployment strategy, which were with having no backing on the logic. Right? So it's a major missing point. Like then we fine-tuned it like maybe follow this particular strategy when the code base is particularly like this. Again, how it tackled backend, how it tackled front end was very different every time. Like sometimes it just creates a Docker image for everything.
Okay.
Sometimes like tries to deploy everything statically. So for us, even after all the rules and tooling, what we thought like this is again going to be totally relied on Vibe, which is not acceptable.
Right.
When someone is trusting you with their production, and that I think like after this weeks of experiment, we thought like yeah, okay, maybe we are done experimenting. We should just return to the determinism era, where we will just put down all the rules. So we have got a really good engineering team, bright minds. So we sat down and wrote down all the right engineering practices that we think after working in startups, big enterprises, should be a good to be called production ready and secure. That is how what we define our current workflow came together actually, where all the right standing of security, all the right deployment strategy for particular stage of the app, for particular traffic of the app, that is like all coming in together and building up. So like in plain, VibeOps is nothing but all the right engineering practices combined together and productized.
Got it. Perfect. Alright, Kislay, so I guess we have enough context about VibeOps and what VibeOps does and how secure it is and who the target audience for this app is, right? And I think it's a beautiful concept, and so it will be really good for us if we can have a walkthrough of the entire app, how to connect my repository, how VibeOps goes through security checks, how to fix issues, etc. It will be very valuable for each and every one of our audience.
Yeah, sure. Let me. Yeah, so this is the fun part actually. This is the general screen and workflow that every person like who's using VibeOps within the company or solo founders would see. Essentially, you just select the repo that you want to deploy. So at this point, you just select what repo you want to deploy. For example, let's say this ROI calculator built from Cursor, just for demo sake. At this point, it is analyzing each and every service that are deployable within this code base. It analyzes for all the feature, flaws, and everything. Like pretty straightforward. It shows you the environment variables that were detected within this thing. So you can put it here. You'll also get drop down if you don't have the value. You can just use the company's value for using these things. Right. So for now, I'll just skip these things. At this point, like it just asks you what is the traffic expectation. Basis this, like it will suggest the best deployment strategy. But again, it keeps it open on how the scenario is changing. Suppose it was earlier an internal tool with low traffic expectancy. It had a particular deployment strategy, but as it's changed, we can change these things in settings that now it's a public tool and ready to face maybe medium traffic. So it will adapt and make the new deployments with this new deployment strategy. So again, I'll maybe just select low traffic, maybe like medium traffic. I'll select me public facing. So at this point, it just asks me, what is this tool about? What is this repo about? And again, the purpose of this, like you can put each and everything, your ChatGPT brainstorming session, your PRD. Again, you get another option in the main screen as well to add more context to it. The purpose of this is to have a contextual environment where you dealing with it, or you asking question, or even the AI making any kind of suggestions, being with this contextful mind that like, okay, this is what the app is about. This is a public facing ROI calculator. So I need to be mindful when I'm talking about security issues, security checks. I need to be mindful about making authorization changes. So this is where these kind of contexts really help the AI to make decisions.
So this is basically a place where I'll just put in my thoughts or like what this app is about, etc. Right? Got it.
And everything.
Got it.
Yeah. At this point, I think the security check is completed. It found 2 critical issues. Again, it's a POC repo that I just went up. So it is like it is giving you these high level answers at this point that like is my code base safe? Like so it's saying like no secret exposed at this point. But it is pointing out that like your keys are hard coded at this point. DB is at risk. I'm assuming like because it has the key hard coded. User data again, like since DB is at risk, so user data is by nature compromised. again, the security checks as well. It's not a simple prompt where we are asking AI, is this app safe? We are running very standard, industry standard security checks and balances at this point,
Right.
with our in-house security rules as well.
Got it.
Again, if the company has onboarded new security checks that it wants every PR to go through, all of those will be coming down and listed on here as well. So it is just giving you an idea of what actually is happening within your code, why these critical issues.
Got it.
Right?
Perfect.
So these part. I'll proceed to this readiness score. So this is actually what we came up with. So to help each and everybody understand the standard of their code base, where their code base stands with respect to their company's standard repo, or could be in general how production ready it is. So it is at this point showing that your security is again, it has scored so low in security because it had very severe security issues at this point. Actually, the DB was at risk. So scoring low on security is natural. Code quality is very poor. Again, very prototyping in nature. These things are there. Best practices again, you might not be. It could be a one-shotted prompt.
Got it. I'd like to cut you off for a moment here. I'll be really amazed if with just one damn click I can get this readiness score from F to something better.
Yeah.
This will be freaking amazing, man.
That's the entire idea. Again, it's not just a scan. We are not again being just another scanning tool. We are an entire full stack DevOps. So at this point, since we know all the context of the repo, we know all the features, issues, everything. So at this point, we are capable enough to make all the changes. But again, very securely and very distinct manner. Because I'll show you quickly. As soon as I hit fix now button, what it does in the background is it starts creating a different branch. Okay, it is done.
Holy.
Yeah, this is actually by default what we consider as B plus deployable.
Okay.
While being secure and while having some minor warnings here and there, which are not risk to company or the app or the user data.
What are the different scores? Where does it start from?
Yeah, it starts from A, which is A grade code base. It follows scored almost 100% on security, code quality, maybe something lacking on best practices.
Okay.
Because these are not really risks, but again, hampers a lot of maybe maintainability and scalability stuff. So A being the top grade, B plus is what we have configured as the default. But again, behind the scene, what happened actually is it just committed a new PR in GitHub. So now it went to your engineering or all the approvers that were assigned at the start. That okay, hey, this was the stage, and we refactored the code to this particular stage where we covered all these particular things, completed the security checks, implemented the best practices, and improved the code quality.
Got it.
And now this is the score. Once they just okay it, and this should be good to go.
Right, got it.
I'll just proceed to deployment plan. And here it is showing me that okay, we'll use AWS with VibeOps.
So just एक और filler question है मेरे पास, which is कि to get it from B plus to A, can VibeOps do that, or there needs to be some manual intervention there?
Yeah, so most definitely it can go from B plus to A as well, but again, totally depends on how autonomous you want. We see that the functionality of code can be compromised by doing some change. We just do not do it and warn the user in the PR generated that this part is not done, but this is how it should be handled.
But this is production ready, right? B plus is you can deploy this stuff.
100%. So I'll maybe cover up this deployment plan part. It just shows you how we are protecting you and how it will be deployed, so that you just have some context on what is actually going. You can care about it or not. It is this is what we are taking care of. That's the idea, and it just all the resources that are involved here, it just shows you what kind of cost you should be expecting for this.
Got it. So is this inclusive of the VibeOps cost?
It is not. It is not inclusive of the VibeOps cost. Yeah, it is purely on the resources that you are using.
Got it. Perfect.
Approval notification has been sent to all the approvers.
Right.
This approval is done. We'll start creating resources and linking your code base, setting up the CSV pipeline, and all.
what different players are in this space right now? Because you are fairly a new company, right? And you have to go
Yeah.
against giants like Netlify, Vercel, etc., right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, so who do you consider as competitors?
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't consider Netlify Vercel as particularly competitor because we are more operating on the uh, productionization and governance layer. So the DevOps bit of it, or just the deployment bit of it, is just a feature of ours. So we do because we wanted to cater to all these non-tech folks without creating again a hassle for them. So no, again, multiple tool hopping or tab hopping. It's just a one-stop solution for them to, if they have created something, make it production grade. And after that point, the very natural step becomes deployment. So you also deploy it. Now, why we even thought of adding deployment in our journey, right, was very promise that we said to our users that, like, we won't let you keep hanging. So in this place, once we have productionized and have the installed proper governance over it, makes sense for us to also have some kind of visibility over where these apps are deployed. It just makes sense for them to deploy via us or on any other cloud provider where we have some kind of visibility, so that our AI knows that this thing broke. Now we do have all the context of your code base, your database schema, your infrastructure, how it looks like. So now when an issue arises, we become the most contextual person for solving this particular issue. It is not like you give me the code snippet and then you give me the log snippet, then you tell me what this app is, and then we will be able to provide you with the right solution. It's not like that. So again, creating that one environment that is very context rich in nature and having all the powers to do it within while being compliant and secure.
So I guess that covers it all. But yeah, before signing off, a last question to you, bro. The AI wave currently, right? It's going parabolic, right? Do you think it's too late to build something with AI right now?
Yeah, yeah. I think if you are aiming to be I mean, like, at this point where everybody is having that conversation of build versus buy, right? Like, again, I think with VibeOps we are solving that problem to a much greater extent, where it will be one of those decisions like we should just build it using VibeOps. So, point being that, but if you are trying to be very shallow with the value that you would provide, it will always be coming to the point that we should just build it using GPT, Cursor themselves, or there would be tools existing, right? So again, even with what we are seeing empowering these ton of solo founders, right? So what we are seeing is like they're essentially productizing their expertise. So they have tons of years of experiences. They know how to handle a few things. Like, for example, like we onboarded a construction worker who built his own inbox OS for solely for construction industry, now selling for $9 a month for each seat. And it's doing great because he understands the pain of getting so many emails, maintaining, like, parallelly driving 10 projects, and status of each project from each and every stakeholder coming over email. So it's like you are entire day playing emails and email comes, email goes, keeping track of it like losers. So this guy solved it really well, specifically for his particular industry, because he knew what pain he's solving for, and he was probably the best person to fix this, right? So he essentially productized his experience or pain point or expertise of handling these things in the right manner, how he envisioned like things should be. He built it, and he's doing really good. So if your value prop in this particular case is shallow, then you might need to rethink the entire setup, how you want to do it. But if you feel like you can productize yourself, I think that is the best use of AI at this point, where you probably productize your expertise yourself, a service, anything, and that might really be fruitful for you.
Got
The
it.
other part is like being super comprehensive of what you're building.
Yeah.
Maybe not just building a feature. So
Yeah. So don't build a feature, build a full-fledged app. That's what you mean, right?
yeah, I think that's the approach we took, and should work for you as well. Like do not try to be shallow is what my
Right.
opinion. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you so much, Kislay. This was a great conversation, yaar. And I hope इससे काफी value मिला होगा to the people watching. And yeah, like I said, anybody has any questions, go comment out. And yeah, Kislay is always there for you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mukul. Lovely to chat.